Today I'm going to show you how to divide a whole number by a fraction. When you divide fractions, you actually multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. The reciprocal is simply the flip of the fraction. The numerator becomes a denominator, and the denominator gets put into the numerator's place. So to find the reciprocal of 2/3, you simply flip the 2 and the 3. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2. The reciprocal of 1/8 is 8 over 1. The reciprocal of 5, since 5 is actually 5 over 1 as an improper fraction, the reciprocal of 5, or 5 over 1, is 1 over 5. Make sure you understand what reciprocal is. I want you to try these 3 problems here. Pause the video and unpause, we'll check them together. So the reciprocal of 3/5 is 5 over 3. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3 over 1. And the reciprocal of a whole number, 11, is 1 over 11. Let's see now how we use reciprocal to actually divide a whole number by a fraction. To divide a whole number by a fraction, again, you multiply it by its reciprocal. So 5 divided by 2/3 is actually 5 over 1 times 3 over 2. The division expression 5 divided by 2/3 is read as 5 divided by 2/3. You need to find how many 2/3 are in 5. Let's look at an example together then. I want you to write this one down in your notes. So we have 2 divided by 1/3. In this example, I'm going to write the whole number over 1 as an improper fraction, 2 over 1, and I'm going to change the division to multiplication. And then I'm going to write the reciprocal, or the flip, of the second fraction. So 1/3 is going to become 3 over 1. Then I multiply as usual. I always check to see if I can cross simplify, which I can't in this example. So I just multiply 2 by 3, 1 by 1. If I get an improper fraction, I divide to turn it back into a mixed number. 6 over 1 is 6 wholes. Let's look at one more example together. Make sure you're writing all these examples in your notes. Remember, you can use your notes to help you study and on open note quizzes. 7 divided by 2/3. So the first thing I do is write the first number. If it's a whole number, I write it as an improper fraction, 7 over 1. I change the division problem to a multiplication problem. You never really divide fractions. You change them to multiplication, and you flip the second fraction. So 2/3 becomes 3 over 2. One of the common errors is students will flip the first fraction instead of flipping the second fraction. You only ever flip the second fraction. You never flip the first fraction. So now I multiply as usual. I cannot cross simplify here. So 7 times 3 is 21. 1 times 2 is 2. I have an improper fraction for my answer, so I need to divide 21 by 2 to find the mixed number. So 2 goes into 2 one time. And 2 goes into 1 0 time. So I have a remainder of 1. So my mixed number is 10 and 1/2. There it is, 10 and 1/2. We're still working on writing improper fractions as mixed numbers, 10 and 1/2. So make sure you've copied that example. Now I want you to try those 3 problems at the bottom. Pause the video, and then we'll check them together. Let's check these 3 and see how you did. 6 divided by 1/3 becomes 6 over 1 times 3 over 1. 6 times 3 is 18, 1 times 1 is 1, and 18 over 1 is simply 18. Did you get that one right? Let's try the next one. So 5 wholes becomes 5 over 1. I change the division to multiplication. I flip or write the reciprocal of the second fraction, 3 over 2. I can't cross simplify, so 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. And then I divide 15 by 2, and that gives me 7 and 1/2. You get that one right? Let's check the last one. 4 becomes 4 over 1. I change the division to multiplication. I flip the second fraction, so that becomes 4 over 3. Cross simplify, I can't in this case, so 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 3 is 3. And then you can either write out your long division or do it in your head. 16 divided by 3 is 5 wholes and 1/3. How did you do? Do you remember the vocabulary word that means to flip a fraction? What is it? That's right, the reciprocal. Come tomorrow with your notes and your examples and be ready to do some more practice with dividing fractions.